Hello viewers, you are welcome to this video. Today I want to introduce you to probability. Introduction to probability. Viewers, first of all, what is probability? Probability is the likelihood or chance that an outcome of a random experiment will occur. Again, probability is the likelihood or chance that an outcome of a random experiment will occur. Now, what is a random experiment? Random experiment. Now, random experiment is any experiment that can result in different outcomes even though it is repeated in the same manner every time. Now, you also have what you call sample space. Sample space. Now, sample space is a set of all possible outcomes of a random experiment. Sample space is a set of all possible outcomes of a random experiment. Now, for example, when a die is tossed, when you toss a die, and when a die is tossed, and when this one you see a die, when there are two or more, you see dice. So when a die is tossed, then you can say that the sample space, which is normally denoted as S, is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This will be the sample space when a die is tossed. Isn't it? Yes. And you are saying the random experiment is an experiment that can result in different outcomes even though it is repeated in the same manner every time. For example, when you toss a die, you can get 1, you can get 2, you can get 4, you can get 5. And in the same manner you are going to throw the die. But you can get 1, you can get 2, you can get 3, 4, 5 or 6. So it's a random experiment. When you are throwing a die, it's a random experiment. And the sample space, we are saying, is the set of all possible outcomes of a random experiment. So when the die is thrown, this will be the sample space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now you also have what you call event. Event. Now, an event is a subset of the sample space of a random experiment. Again, an event is a subset of the sample space of a random experiment. For example, when a die is tossed, if you are getting an odd number, if you say that, what is the probability of getting an odd number? So this is the sample space. So the odd numbers here will be 1, 3, 5. So this will be an event. This will be an event. Will be P of E1 like this. Now, so when a die is tossed, when you have to find the probability of event 1, that is the probability of getting an odd number, then the probability will be equal to how many odd numbers are here? 1, 2, 3. So 3 over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that will be 1 over 2. So this will be the probability of getting an odd number when a die is tossed. Okay. Now, if event 2 is a chance of getting a prime number. Now the prime numbers here are 2, 3, and 5. Isn't it? So the probability of getting a prime number, probability P of E2. P of E2. And this one will be equal to how many prime numbers are here? 3 over the total number, which is 6. And that will be 1 over 2. Isn't it? That will be 1 over 2. Now, let me explain this to you. You can write this. You can write E1 union E2. Now, when you write E1 union E2, what it means is that E1 or E2 or both. So when you write this one, P of E1 union E2, this means that the probability of E1 or E2. Now, when you write E1 intersection E2, what this means is that E1 and E2. That is, it means that both E1 and E2. Isn't it? This one means E1 union E2 means E1 or E2 or both. Isn't it? And then E1 that is in E2 means E1 and E2. That is both E1 and E2. So if you write probability of this one, if you write this way, it means the probability of E1 and E2. So it means that here both events must occur. Do you see? Both events must occur. But here, E1, the first event can occur, or the second event can occur, or both can occur. You also have E1 prime. E1 prime. Now, or I can simply say E prime. Now, E prime is the same as the complement of event E. The complement of event E is denoted this way. Yes. So, if E1 is an event, maybe E1 is passing your examination, then the complement of E, which is denoted this way, will be not passing your examination. If P of E is the probability of E, then when I write probability of E complement, it means that the probability of this E not occurring. Do you see it? The probability of the event not occurring. So if this is the probability of the event E occurring, then the probability of a complement of E is the probability that E will not occur. Isn't it? So if the probability that it will rain tonight is given by this one, maybe 0.8, then what is the probability that it will not rain? So that is the complement. Now, you also have this. Two events, E1 and E2, are said to be mutually exclusive. Mutually exclusive. If E1 intersection E2 is equal to the null set. Yes. So two events E1 and E2 are said to be mutually exclusive if their intersection is equal to the null set. Yes. So you can write this way or this way. The null set. Okay. Now, you also have this. Two events, say A and B, are said to be independent if the probability of A intersection B is equal to the probability of A times the probability of B. Then these two events are said to be independent. So two events A and B are said to be independent. If the probability of A intersection B is equal to the probability of A times the probability of B. So there it is. Now, let's move on to loss of probability. Loss of probability. Loss of probability. If S is a sample space, and E is any event, then what we are saying is that 1, probability of the sample space is equal to 1. Do you see? For example, when a die is tossed, what is the probability of getting numbers from 1 to 6? Then it will be 6 over 6. Do you see it? If you are getting all the numbers from 1 to 6, then it is a 6 over 6. And this one will give you 1. So the probability of the sample space is 1. And when you are looking at all the items under consideration, then this probability is 1. 2. Probability of any event is greater than or equal to 0 but less than or equal to 1. Yes. Now what this means is that when you are given any probability question, your answer should be greater than or equal to 0 but less than or equal to 1. You can't be given a probability question and your answer will be 2. Your answer will be 5. Your answer will be 2.2. No. The answer should be greater than or equal to 0 but less than or equal to 1. It means that you should start from 0 up to 1. That is the meaning. 3. Probability of the null set is equal to 0. For example, when a die is tossed, you can ask what is the probability of getting 0? the number 0. You see, when a die is tossed, the sample space, as I've already told you, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the probability of getting 0 when a die is tossed, you see, we don't have 0 here. So the probability of getting a 0 will be equal to 0 over 6, and that will be 0. Because you don't have 0 when a die is tossed, you can't get a 0. 4. These are very, very important. Probability of an event E not occurring is equal to 1 minus probability of the event E occurring. Yes. The probability that it will rain tonight is given by this. Probability that it will rain tonight is say 0.8. When you're asked to find the probability that it will not rain tonight, that will be the complement of the event. Use it, E. So this one, we are saying that this one will be equal to 1 minus probability that it will rain tonight. And that one is 0.2. Isn't it? And when you add this to this, you are going to get 1. So what this means is that the probability that an event E will occur plus probability that the event E will not occur, when you add them, you should get 1. I said the probability that you pass well in your examination, if it is 0.9, then the probability that you will not pass will be 0.1. These are the laws of probability. These are the laws. These laws must be with you. Yes. Okay. Let's move on to what we call addition rule or addition law of probability. Now, probability of A or B, which is written this way, is equal to probability of A plus probability of B minus probability of A intersection B. Yes, this is true. This is true. So this is called probability of A or B. And then this is probability of A, probability of B, minus probability of A and B. This one. This one means probability of A and B. Isn't it? Yeah. So and then as you can give you this, give you this, and ask you to find this. Isn't it? You can also give you this, and that, and ask you to find this. So you just have to make this the subject. Use it. Yes, viewers, I have a video on change of subject of relations. If those of you have not watched that video, you can go and watch it. Yes. Okay. So this is true. Now similarly, when you have 3 events, probability of A union B union C, that is probability of A or B or C, which is written this way, is equal to probability of A plus probability of B plus probability of C minus probability of A intersection B, isn't it? Minus probability of A intersection C minus probability of B intersection C plus probability of A intersection B intersection C. Yes, this is also true. Isn't it? Yes. So this one means probability of A, B, and C. This one. And it's the probability of A and B. Probability of A and C. Probability of B and C. And it's the probability of A or B or C. Yes. So these are the addition laws of probability. You see it? And this is for 2 events, this is for 3 events. Now, if you are told that A, B, and C are mutually exclusive, it means that this one will be, so it means that, for example, the first one, if you are told that A, B, and C are mutually exclusive, then this is what it means. It means that A intersection B will be equal to the null set. Isn't it? And if A intersection B is equal to the null set, and you know that the probability of the null set is equal to 0, So this implies the probability of A dash B, which is a null set, which is equal to the probability of the null set. Of the null set is a null set. Of the null set will be equal to 0. Isn't it? Yes. So it means that if A and B, when A and B are mutually exclusive, then this addition law will now become P of A union B is equal to P of A plus P of B, because this one will go to 0. This is so when two events A and B are mutually exclusive, this will be the addition law. Okay. Now similarly, if A, B, and C are mutually exclusive, it means that this one, the probability of this one will be of A dash B will be probability of the null set to go to 0. Probability of A and C will also be probability of the null set it will go to 0. This one also go to 0, and this will also go to 0. So similarly, if A, B, and C are mutually exclusive, then this one reduced to probability of A union B union C is equal to 1, 2, 3. Do you see it? That is what we are saying. If A, B, and C are mutually exclusive, then the probability of this one, probability of A or B or C, will be probability of A plus probability of B plus probability of C. This is the addition law for 3 events will reduce to this. Thank you very much for your attention. For more of this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, Shomalaju.